And when it comes to flying between the UK and Ireland, you don't really get much of a choice of airlines. You could of course fly Ryanair or Aer Lingus, the biggest two airlines between the two countries, maybe British Airways or Flybe depending on where you live. They also have flights over to Dublin as well. But despite all of that, you don't really get much of a variety in the types of aircraft or airlines that you're going to be flying with. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be flying from here in Edinburgh over to Dublin in business class on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, believe it or not, with a full flatbed seat. How am I going to do it? Let's go and find out. You see, there's a Chinese airline called Hainan Airlines who operates a Boeing 787 Dreamliner from Beijing in China over to Edinburgh and Dublin before heading back to Beijing. Not only that, but you can book seats on board the flight from Edinburgh to Dublin and vice versa. So today I'm going to be heading to fly on a Hainan Airlines Boeing 787 and I'm actually going to be doing it in business class. Why on earth not?
First step was to the Hainan Airlines check-in desk at the terminal.
Checking in for Dublin, please. Thank you. Thanks very much. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Being a business class ticket, you get access to fast-track security, just like on any other business class flight. Hainan Airlines use the Aspire Lounge at Edinburgh. It's not a bad lounge and has all the usual range of food and drinks, as well as loads of seating areas. The only problem with the Aspire Lounge for Hainan Airlines is that the lounge is at the completely opposite end of the terminal to the gate. It's quite a trek to get over to the gate. While I wait here in the lounge, I'd like to tell you about a really cool all-in-one card I've started using called Curve. They call it the Spotify of credit cards. It's a card that lets you put all of your existing cards into one and just choose which one you pay with. You just add your existing debit and credit cards to it and use it all around the world with no foreign exchange fees, which is really handy. You can even go back in time and change your purchase to a different card if, like me, you often end up buying stuff on the wrong card. The metal card comes with travel insurance, car rental insurance and even discounted lounge access, plus many more features, which is really cool. Curve would like to send you a card preloaded with £5 all for free. Just click on the link in the description and use Noel5 to get your hands on one. Here's my ride over to Dublin today. It's a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner delivered brand new to Hainan Airlines in 2016, making her just 3 years old when I flew on her. There weren't many passengers boarding here in Edinburgh, which is understandable as the route only operates twice a week in each direction.
Hello.
I made my way left into the business cabin that will be my home for all but 40 minutes. The cabin's in a 222 configuration and is very red indeed. They operate this aircraft in both this configuration and a more spacious 121 configuration, similar to Qatar Airways A350. Due to the flight being only 40 minutes long, I was given my breakfast before I'd even sat in my seat, the first time I've ever had this happen. I munched on my fruit, muesli and salad as the economy class passengers boarded behind me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Hainan Airlines. 您的安全至关重要，请认真观看安全须知视频。Your safety.
As the safety briefing played, we pushed back from the gate and began our taxi out to runway 24 at Edinburgh. There weren't many passengers in business class today, most of them had disembarked at Edinburgh and there were a couple continuing onward to Dublin. Our route today took us west towards Glasgow, down the Scottish coast towards Northern Ireland, before flying down the coast of Northern Ireland and Ireland and commencing an approach onto runway 28 at Dublin. Flight time today was 42 minutes at a cruising altitude of 24,000 feet. Let's take a quick look around the seat. Under the armrest there's a remote for the TV, a water bottle and some Chinese nuts. There's a USB port and a 3-pin plug, as well as a headphone socket and a button to raise the privacy divider between the seats. The table pops out from the armrest. There's a safety card beside your seat and a literature rack in front of you with some Chinese magazines. There's a couple of storage shelves in front of you as well, and next to the TV is a coat hook and a decent sized screen. Standard Dreamliner windows here with the button to operate the tinting. Overhead there are no air vents, which was a little bit frustrating. The seat reclines into a full 180-degree flatbed, which is pretty comfy even for a 6'4" me. Of course I had to try out the bed on such a short flight. The magazine selection was all in Chinese, but it wasn't difficult to see what the topic of the magazine was from the cover. In the armrest there's a headset for in-flight entertainment. The entertainment system has a wide selection of movies and TV, no doubt pretty censored. Surprisingly, they did have Top Gear available to watch, but on such a short flight there was no time to watch it. Out of the window, the Northern Irish coastline came into view. We got some great views of Belfast on this beautiful morning. We had just a few minutes at our cruising altitude of 24,000 feet before beginning our descent down into Dublin. Interestingly, the cabin crew dimmed all the windows for landing and I had to brighten mine again. We touched down on time using full reverse thrust. My flight today cost me a whopping £283.18 or $354 US. This is for a flight of just 210 miles, which works out at an incredible £1.35 per mile. Would I take this flight again in business class? Well, no, absolutely not. It's absolutely absurd to take a business class flight like this for just 40 minutes when the alternatives are also cheap. Hainan sell this flight in economy class for just £52 though, which is a much cheaper way and well worth it to get on board a Chinese Boeing 787 for such a short flight from the UK. Of course, you could always take Ryanair for £20 each way, but it's just not the same. Thank you very much. Thank you, bye-bye. Thank you. Hainan Airlines are talking about stopping this flight from October though, so if you want to get a ride on one, you need to be quick. That's all from me today. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time, here on In-Flight Video.